Hey everyone, we're just going to install some ASV levers onto this MT10. So we've got the levers, I'm going to show you how to put them on, but first let's have a quick look at the levers themselves and let me show you what you get. So as you can see, these are the ASV C5 levers. So they are machined from billet aluminium alloy. I think it's a 6061 alloy. These ones are the limited edition grey ones, which I think will look really cool on the grey MT10. So you get, obviously they're anodised in grey. You get a 5-year unbreakable guarantee with these, which means if you snap them within that 5 years, ASV just replace it. You just get a whole new lever. Completely rebuildable with hand tools as well. So if you ever need to rebuild them, just rebuild them with basic tools. You've got heaps and heaps of adjustment. 2.5 inches at the lever end from fully in to fully out, and they're designed to flick away from the bike in the event of a crash or a tip over. They flick out the way and then spring back. In the box you also get a load of sort of bushings and loads of different tabs that you put on depending on which bike you have. We're going to use the Yamaha ones, but some of the fitments are the same for different bikes, so you get a certain bush to use with like a GSXR, certain tab to use with a GSXR and whatever. It's exactly the same on the brake side, so let's get to it, let's get them put on. As with all of this stuff, before we can put the new sexy stuff on, we've got to take the old Yamaha stuff off. So it's bye old Yamaha cast levers. I always do the brake because I find the brake easier, so I always start with the brake and then go do the clutch because, you know, I'm very fickle. It's nice to get a bit of motivation early on. So alright, cool. So old levers off, time to put the new one on. But before we do that, I thought I'd just quickly show you how it looks with no lever at all. As you can see in there, that's where the pivot bolt goes through. That's what allows your lever to obviously pivot. It's a little push rod in there, so that's pushing the master cylinder that pushes the fluid down to the calipers. Well, this pushes it to an ABS pump and then onto the calipers. But anyway, and then this little bad boy here, you probably hear him clicking. That's the brake light switch. That's what makes your brake lights light up. As soon as you pull the lever in, that little switch clicks, makes your brake light come on. So I'll put the ASV one on. Uses exactly the same bolt that drops through, exactly the same nut on the end. You just choose the right bushing and everything, which we're going to do now, and then get that put on. One thing I love about all these ASV levers is that all the little bags are all labelled with what manufacturer they supposedly work with. So makes it easy to find the right stuff. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it gives you somewhere to start. So we'll see how we go. We'll offer it up and see what it looks like, and then if we need to mix and match some parts, we'll do that. But we'll go with what ASV say first. Hopefully that'll be right. I'm sure it'll be most of the way there. But then if not, we might have to add some bits on. But we'll see how we go. Alright, so before you get too carried away installing these, it's always worth just double checking the ASV against what's come out of the bike. Because I know it's all easy to get carried away and go, oh, sick, when I get my new stuff on. But if you take your old lever off and then suddenly look at it and go, oh, it doesn't fit, it's nowhere near, it just gets painful. So we've got them both off now, so let's just have a quick look and just check the shape looks about right. So that's the standard lever. This is the ASV lever. Yeah, looks about right. You can see there's the little paddle here. This is what was doing the brake light switch. And again, we've got one here on the ASV that looks to be about the right sort of size. If we need to, there's a little extender down in here, which they say is for Honda and Kawasaki only, so we shouldn't need to use it for the Yamaha. It's nice to know that if we do need to, we've got it. I think we'll be fine, to be fair. It looks about right. This is the Yamaha bush they say you've got to use, and again, that looks about the right sort of size for our nice nut, our nice bolt here to drop through. So we all look good. Let's get the ASV lever on. Let's get it on. As you can see, the new ASV is on. So yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Just need to have a little play around with it and find the right adjustment on the span. It's a bit better actually. But yeah, now time to do the clutch. Okay, so before you start the clutch side, what it's always best to do is, you see, this is obviously a clutch. There's a little bit of free play in the clutch here, which is fine, it should have it. But before you start mucking about with the lever, it's always best to wind as much free play into the clutch lever as you can. Just makes life a little bit easier really. So you want to wind this adjuster right the way, this adjuster here, right the way into the bar. There's not a lot of adjustment on this one really, because it's quite low miles, but yeah. Anyway, just wind all that adjustment out, so you'll have loads and loads of free play at the end of the lever. Just makes it a lot easier to get the lever out. Just gives you a bit more room to play with. All right, cool. So clutch lever, nut and bolt are out. Just another quick tip to show you guys when you're doing the clutch side. So you can see that the bolt and the nut beneath it's obviously gone, so this can now come out. Clutch cable's still in, so easiest thing to do now is pull this out, flip it over, and then you can get the cable out. Like, you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm trying to do everything one-handed. But yeah, you just, is it going to jiggle out? Yeah, there we go, that's it. So that's it, job done. And then when you put the new lever in, obviously clutch cable in first, flip it over, then put it in, making sure that the little clutch switch here doesn't get, you don't try and push him down or snap him off or anything like that, because he only moves that way. And on the MT10 that governs stuff like the cruise control as well. Okay, just something to bear in mind. Right, boom, so clutch lever has got all its tabs on, all the right bushings are in, as you can see here. Just held on with little Allen bolts, 2.5mm Allen bolts. You can lock tighten if you want. I don't think it's not going to really be something that's going to vibrate out, but if lock tightening it makes you feel good, then yeah, lock tight it, whatever. You don't need to hang off them, just make sure that they're so tight they don't fall out really. So let's get this bad boy on and then we'll show you when it's done. Alright, cool, so that's it. Both ASV levers are all on now. That's obviously the brake side and the clutch side. So before you go, I don't need to tell you guys this, before you go for a ride, check all your switches, like check everything works as it did before, your brake light still comes on, just adjust the span on them. Make sure you put your clutch free play back as it was before, or completely readjust it and just see what it looks like, you know, and then enjoy your new trick levers that are looking really cool. That now look better, feel better. 5 years unbreakableness, and don't flap around like the OE ones do. It's meant to do that flapping, but none of this up and down flapping. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up. Put some of your thoughts in the comments. I'll put the link to where I got these. I'll chuck it in the comments, it's easier. It takes me going, oh, I got it from blah, blah, blah. I'll link it in the comments for you. Any questions, drop it below. See you guys later, I guess.